Today I'm back trying to do some more fossil hunting. It's been a couple of weeks, had COVID last week, so kind of put a damper on the fossil hunting. But it's clear from you guys watching the YouTube videos that you much prefer the fossil hunting than the prepping, which I can understand. So today I'm at the Port Mulgrave, so we'll have a look at hopefully two different directions. So we're going to go both north towards Staithes and then south towards Brunswick Bay over the next couple of hunts. I'm here as the sun's going down to do a hunt tonight, which will be a hopefully first recorded night hunt, and then I'm going to do another one early in the morning as the sun's coming up to show you what we can find. But just going to do the walk down to the coast now, and I'll make sure to record a few clips of that. So this Port Mulgrave, as it is now, used to be an actual working harbour where they used to export iron, as far as I'm aware, and it used to be a railway somewhere up in these bushes. I'm going to have to go down this rope, fed up a rope there, always a bit adventurous, but the real choice is that or this, and this is what has happened to the old path down. That got taken out by a series of landslides. There were a set of steps all the way down, but alas, no choice but to take the ropes down if I want to get down and get down to the fishing huts that are down there. I see someone's got a tent down there as well, so curious if there are other crazy fossil hunters like myself, or just someone enjoying the coastline. So I'm gonna put this away because I have a sneaking suspicion I'm gonna fall over and get myself very muddy. If I do, I'll make sure to get a piece of evidence of it. So first bit complete, got a bit more to go, but as you can see, I'm not the only one who have fun sliding around on this. It is properly sticky and slidey at the minute. It's not suitable for anyone who is not able to hold on to that rope. I had one episode where I fell over and slid down, so just be careful if you are coming out, and please probably don't bring young children or dogs or anything like that down it, because it will be a challenge getting back up. I think I will probably walk around that headland there to the right, and you'll get to Brunswick Bay, and you can get up there without having to use the rope. Made it down the rope, thankfully it is over. Some people have obviously started using that side over there. Last little bit just to go down here to get down to the beach. Only a few little cuts and grazes for my troubles, but yeah, definitely not the easy path, definitely a silly way down. Much easier in the summer or after a long period of dry. So if you're coming to Port Mulgrave to do fossil hunting, come around from Brunswick if it's been wet at all, unless you're planning to be very adventurous like I am, and run the risk of a very muddy slip and slide all the way down the hill. So just to give you an idea of what you have down in Port Mulgrave, various fishing huts with various levels of decoration from the locals. So they've obviously taken a little time and effort for some of them, whereas others are in various states of disrepair. But it's a lovely little area down here, right on the coast. So you can see why people have set up here. And it's protected, so tide doesn't come up here, so they can fish through the night. I'm going to wander that way and see around that side if I can find any fossils, and if the tide is still too far in, I'm going to go back that way because I can get down on the beach a little bit there without any problems. So I'll be back with you soon. So just a nice little thing to start with. This is a belemnite battlefield, so each one of these that you can see in here is the remains of one of these fossil squid. Some really nice bits actually, so I don't know if you can see the detail on this. I hope you can, because I can. But in here you can see the different sections of these internal parts of the belemnite called a phragmocone, and so these are actually really well preserved. bodes well. So let's see what else we can find. Just finished putting the camera away, of course. Picked this rock up from underneath there and turned it over. Nice chunk of Eleganthosaurus just sticking out. Unfortunately not complete, so I'm going to leave it here, but again, nice to start with. So some sections of ammonite here. We've got what looks to be possibly a philo or harposaurus, another one next to it. I've got myself a few nodules, so I'm going to give them a bit of a crack open and see what we can get out of them. My guess is not much, but we'll see. Just some shells. Just going through the sandstone piles, found this one. Unfortunately, someone has had a very nice Ledlenser out of it, just a negative. But it bodes well that they are here, it's just finding them now. Just a bit of geology for the nerds. So over here, we've got the strata intact, and you can see this line coming down here with a bunch of very broken up bits. So it's a nice sign of where the rock's in situ and where there's been a big landslide over the top of it, and all of that therefore is jumbled up, and this is still in the correct layers that you'd expect. So nice to see for a bit of geology for those of you who care. So typically, having had no luck splitting things, split my first one. It's got little Eleganthosaurus bits in it and some broken shell. Hit this next one and it's a lovely DAC in it. So I will take that, stick those two sides back together and see if I can make that look a little bit pretty when it's fully prepped, but it's a beauty. So, good start. And nothing. That's why I should never film with you guys. Every time I film with you I find nothing. As if to prove a point, found another rock, hit it whilst off camera, and of course there's an ammonite in it. So I tried to see if it would open further. It's really hard. So the other side popped a little bit and there's a corner of it there, but it doesn't want to come out nicely, so I'm gonna have to leave that for the tools back home. Almost made it around to the next beach, somewhere I have never been before, so this is all new for me. I'm continuing to smack nodules when you're not looking, because that's the best time to do it, it seems. Big chunk of belemnite fragmicon, and this one's massive. So nice to see. Good that these nodules are still popping and there's still stuff in them. I'll keep looking for something a bit better and hope I can show you something more exciting than pre-split nodules with bits of ammonites in them. So another one, didn't have anything visible on the outside, so gave it a tap. In fact, someone had already hit this one previously. Had a piece of ammonite in it. Not sure I'm going to take this one, just because this big chunk's come out. And it's there, but I'm not sure I'm going to be bothered with it. So that'll stay on the beach for the next person to come along and pick up. And there's signs that someone's obviously been here. So another ammonite from a nodule that's been split. We'll keep looking. Starting to get a bit dark, but just saw the edge of something sticking out here, so thought you could all join me. Looks perfect. Excellent. Take that one home and prep it. Also saw something else sticking out of the mud over here, so another one, although that's not got a middle in it, so I'll leave that one there. So on the final beach now, that I was trying to aim for at least today, on the north side of Port Mulgrave. So what I've got is a little tiny beach to fossil hunt as the sun is going down. Nice little, I'm assuming a jet quarry, but it could have been alum that they were digging out of that hole up there in the old days. I'm going to hit a few rocks for you guys before I have to pull the torch out. I've got a fair bit of time to do a fossil hunt as the tide is still on its way out for another hour and a half, 2 hours, but the light's going fairly quickly now, and so I'll pull the head torch out, and it'll be a very different fossil hunt at that point. So I'll try and make the most of it now, and I'll be back with you when I start hitting rocks. Nothing. So tiny bit of shell on that side. And that looks to be it. Yep. Looky, looky. A nice little beach Pterodosaurus. Well, I have gone and done what I've always wanted to do. I have found myself my bone. Typically, it's not very much of it. It's an entire row of vertebra starting up here. Each one of these is a vertebra, and there's a little rib here. They're sadly really not well preserved because there's only bits of them, but I can't leave my first ichthyosaur remains on the beach, even in a giant block, which is, let's see, there's my hammer for scale, that big. And I'm at the furthest point of my walk. Bugger. But I'm excited. That's fucking cool. Excuse the language. But that's cool. There's an ichthyosaur spine. I'm so not excited for this walk. The bag's so damn heavy. I'll weigh it when I get home, but god, it's a bit of a bugger, especially as the tide's still in sufficiently that I've got to go probably get my feet wet, or the rocks are going to be slippery across there. And as you see, the light is fading quick. So I'm going to have to pull the torch out in a second. Typical. I've never found any bone before, and I find it the furthest away from somewhere and the most difficult spot to get back from. Excellent. So yeah, a few more rocks to hit as well for you guys. And I'm just looking up here. Didn't even see this one earlier. Another little beach prep deck, just to show you that I'm not making it up. So I got a bit fossil fevery and kept looking after I found the ichthyosaur bit, so I'll have a few to hit, but it does mean that I'm now on torchlight, as you can see. Just probably good enough to do it without torch, but thought might as well use the torch just to make sure you can see everything. Yeah, some lovely shells, some lovely little bits of shells. You can see like a star pattern coming off that shell there, a bit of belemnite here. No ammonites, so I'm going to leave that one. There was an ammonite in it, you can just see it here, but it is also a really nasty bit of mineralization. I might just give this another tap, see if we can make it go the other way with a chisel. So, sort of, but all fell apart, unfortunately. So, was an ammonite, did not stay together when I split it, and there's lots of bits of it scattered. So, we will leave that one here. Shame though. Yeah, nothing. So this one has an ammonite in it. I might just see if it will go nicely. Doesn't look like it wants to go nicely. We'll take that home and prep it anyway. So, squished ammonite, not even worth hurting. This one's got a nice edge of an ammonite here, goes all the way around. We'll see if we can split that one with chisel. Oh, and it pops. The middle is beautiful, right down to the center. Lost the outer edge of it on that one, but I actually really like that. That's beautiful. Not ideal split, because ideally the edge here would have come with, but it's quite a different look on it. So I like it. I'll keep it. Another one. That's not too bad. Might keep it as well. Little beach worn ammonite. That's popped quite nicely. So there's a bit water worn here. But that's come out okay. So that's popped open. Lots of little tiny shells you can see there. No ammonite bits, but just lots of little shells. Having a bit of an adventure trying to walk back with my heavy bag. But a nice big chunk of wood there actually, that's really big. To give you an idea of how big. And it extends all the way across, and it's so well preserved you can actually even see the rings in it. So really nicely preserved piece of wood, but huge and not interesting to me, so it can stay there. And as you can tell now, it is getting properly dark, so I'm going to turn you back off and keep moving. So I dropped my bag back with all the fishing huts just because it was too heavy to carry to do some more fossil hunting. So doing a bit more on the other side now at night, just slowly walking my way along, because it's a bit different when you can only see a little area of spotlight in front of you for fossil hunting. So very possible I'm going to miss a lot more fossils now than I would normally do, but it gives you an idea of what fossil hunting at night is a bit like. I'll put the details of my headlamp and everything in the video later. Sorry for the slow breathing. As you can tell, I am still knackered. That rock was heavy, but I'll be back with you in a little bit. One of the other channels often plays Spot the Fossil, and it is really difficult to see some of these under torch. So little one there, just squished in the shale, but it gives you an idea of what we're looking for, if it's going to focus. There it is. Yeah, so going to be a bit of a challenge, very much a challenge, but my first time doing it properly, because the last time I did this I didn't have a proper head torch built for doing this. So another piece of ammonite shell there. So it's nice you can see them. and glad that you at home can also see them. So I thought I'd give you a nice example of a sedimentary structure that a lot of people mistake for a fossil. This is called cone and cone, and so you can see here hopefully this sort of ridged pattern going up, and it forms a cone shape, which is what gives its name. So you get lots of those, often next to each other or close to each other. This is a nice example on the top, sorry with the camera work, but you can see these circles at the top. This is apparently the escape structure, so it's fluid basically flowing from the bottom upwards, and as it bubbles up it produces this structure. That's what I'm told. I will believe it because I don't know any better, so let's go with it. I got so busy trying to smack this thing open that I almost missed a really nice fossil just there. So, whew, nice pyrite shell on that ammonite. So hopefully that'll prep nicely. I'll take that one. Something worth being aware of, I'm just going to show very briefly. Seal. So just be aware if you're out that they may be around, and try not to spook them too much with the light. I almost walked into it, which is why I have given it a wide berth now, and I hope he's not guarding any good fossils. So you can play spot the fossil again, see if you can see it. There it is, little beach worn ammonite, so worn in fact it's got no markings left on it other than those whorls that you can see. So I'm going to leave that one there and keep looking. Although that being said, I'm at the first big slide here in Port Mulgrave, and with the tide coming back in very shortly, I'm not going to go too much further around, but I'm going to go back and settle down somewhere for the night, because I'm not going to be able to make it to Runswick with the heavy bag, at least not safely. So we'll find a place to chill out amongst all of the cabins and enjoy my night. Just spotted what looks to be a very beach worn ammonite. See if you can spot it in the light. This in here. So let's have a look at it. Yeah, very beach worn. So slightly squished and lost an edge. Might just give that one a tap for you guys tomorrow morning. See if it looks alright when we take this side off. But there we go. So I was busy looking at that nodule there, swung my head slightly, and another nice chunk of ammonite just sitting out there, missing its middle, so not going to pick it up, but keep looking. So lovely belemnite preserved in this rock here, from tip up here on the right down to pretty close to what I would say the fragma cone should be, which that end looks a little bit squished, but in pretty good nick. You can see probably in the side here, shell of an ammonite there, there's a bit of an ammonite shell up there. So there's lots of stuff. It's quite interesting going slow. I'm seeing a lot more small things. This one's got at least an ammonite in it, and I've got what I can only describe as one of the most beautiful shaped pyrite nodules I've picked up in a long time. So I'm hoping that's got something in it. I'll give that a tap later, just on the way back. I'm going to continue just to rummage through this area here, and then wander back, because this is the edge of a big landslide. And then yeah, just wander back after that. And then I'll be back this way tomorrow in the morning to have another look. Always got to keep your eyes open. So someone hit the rock above, but if you look at the rock below, there's a shell of an ammonite sticking out. So let's put down some of my other ones and just check this. Yep, that's a nice one. Yeah, beauty. So just stopped here having seen a couple of fossils. So first one, we'll zoom in. It's an ammonite right there. And then just around the corner I saw another one, which I'm not sure how much is there. So I'm going to grab this first one. He says, in the mud. And that looks to be in pretty good nick. So that's a good one to take home. And the other one I saw is down there. Just a little edge sticking out. He says, trying to zoom in, there it is. Just a little edge sneaking out, looking at me. So I'm going to dig that one out as well and see what we got. And that one's missing side there. But we'll give it a wash and see if it's worth taking. So, final haul for the night. Just a few ammonites. Just one I just picked up. Don't know why someone's left it, but there's a chunk of ammonite on the edge there. Another one there. So I'm going to just give this a tap and see if it comes apart. But it looks like it actually, that's probably why people have left it. It's septarian, so you see all these lines going through it. That means that it's likely to fracture across all those. So the ammonites inside are probably going to be terrible. Still give it a hit because why not? But yeah, lots of little ammonites. Give them a tap. This one in particular I want to see. It's sort of look perfect for an ammonite bearing nodule, which undoubtedly means it'll be empty. So I'm going to put you guys down. Right. Doesn't bode well. If it's not going to open like that, it's probably got nothing in it. Beautiful, perfect, empty. I was hoping these might open up, but all it's done is just exposed more, so we'll leave that one be. And this one. Yeah. Also empty. And then this big booger. Nope. What it has done though, despite all appearances, is popped beautifully. So yeah, bits of it broke off. I'm not worried about putting them back on. I'll tidy off the edge and clean out the middle. That looks great. Looks great. So just a handful of ammonites from north of Port Mulgrave, but again the star specimen being the ichthyosaur spine. That will come back to me in a few weeks. So I'll show you that when it's fully prepped. Nice hildy though, and so can't complain too much.